Good morning, everybody. Enter the stars. And we were going to do a different show this morning. I was going to do a show on prenatal VCs. I moved that show back because this show is far more timely and far more important. And I'm literally shaking right now because I cannot believe that we missed this. This is, of course, the official website for our government and the official website for Operation Warp Speed. And so I pulled the seal that they came up with for Warp Speed. Here it is right here. And I was looking at it and I go, is there some, this all just hit me this morning. Inspired by the Holy Spirit. And I start looking at this symbol and I'm like, at first I was like, okay, what is this? And then I look over here and I'm like, wow, those almost look like some kind of Hebrew letters. But then I looked through all the Hebrew letters and I didn't see anything. So then I go, well, maybe these are the feathers of wings, like an eagle or something. And maybe this is the lower wings of the eagle represented behind this cube. And then, of course, I saw that this cube is definitely very esoteric because it's Saturn symbolism. But then I began to dig deeper and searching, and within about 10 or 15 minutes, God revealed the truth to me about what this symbol is. And I hope if you're a Christian who voted for Trump, I hope you're sitting down because this is the symbol for opening your chakras. This is called the anti-Karana symbol. And here you see the side-by-side. You can't stretch this. You can't make it up. It is the anti-Karana symbol. Now, we don't believe in New Age here at all. We often get accused of it. But everything we talk about debunks all this stuff and tells you not to do it, not to open your chakras, not to open your pineal gland. That's all New Age stuff. But we have to break down what this symbol means in order for us to understand what is going on and what they're trying to do with Operation Warp Speed and this VC that's coming out and being now administered to many Christian people who voted for Trump and trusted him. And right here in his symbol is the anti-Karana, covered by the CV, of course. Now here's what's interesting. I had my intuition from the Most High that something about these VCs could be affecting GENDER. And look at the symbol. The male and the female are the same. They are the same symbol for the male and the female. One sex. Now let's get into what this symbol actually means. And this is stunning. Now, normally I don't like to delve into this stuff, but don't we need to know what everybody signed up for with Warp Speed and the creating of these VCs that are now being administered to everyone? Shouldn't we figure that out? Yes, we should. Now, this comes from ancient Buddhism, as well as REIKI. Let's read this. Let me make sure we're connected. This is huge. Now, I don't know if anyone's had discovered this yet. Has anyone discovered this yet? I don't know. We discovered it for the first time this morning, and I can't believe we missed it. Let's keep going with this. Unbelievable. Anti-Karana. Why more people should pay attention to this symbol. There it is. Represents a whole philosophical concept. Refers to deep levels of the mind, ego, and emotions. It's about how we can transcend them and how we can grow from a spiritual perspective. What does Anti-Karana mean? It means interior or within. Antar means, Kazar Antar? Like the star? means interior within, and karana means sense or organ. But the subject at hand is a different reference, the antikarana symbol and its power. Now they talk about the similarities between the antikarana and this. You can see on your screen. So, but then they debunk it in this particular article. Michelle Griffith, the known clairvoyant and healer, says that this symbol has its roots in the beginning of the lost civilization of Lemuria on the Mu continent. That would make it about 100,000 years old. The story goes that humanity needed to reestablish their connection between their rational mind and higher self. At that time, the Council of Enlightened Masters, Lightworkers, created this symbol to aid humanity in its evolution. So now this becomes an evolutionary symbol. You see where all this is headed. Evolving humanity into what? Therefore, the symbol represents a collective consciousness. One mind, one sex. Anyone who uses it to develop a very strong potential for recreating and stabilizing connection with the higher self. Even though its origins are unclear, the symbol appears on many Buddhist and Hindi statues or parchments. These days it's used for spiritual cleansing and meditation. We need to understand that this symbol has its own conscience. Wow. It does not need a specific process of activation or a pattern for drawing it. Its simple presence is enough to recreate the energetic structures of a room and the person inside of it. So now, with this symbol, Trump has exposed you to some pretty evil witchcraft. I'm just being straight with you guys, whether you like it or not. Although antikarana is a multi-dimensional symbol, in its two-dimensional representation within it, it incorporates the number 7 3 times. So that's 777, and of course that would also be Trump's number. This number is a strong connection with the existence of the 7 spiritual realms, the 7 chakras, and the 7 main colors of evolution. How to use the symbol. By simply placing the symbol in a room, it will have positive influence on the energy and people in that room. With its shape, antikarana is able to literally cut the negative thoughts and energies that come close to it, whether it in prayer or meditation. Maybe this is the mind control that they have over everybody. Another thing I noticed is that maybe this little thing coming off the bottom is a Q. You know, like the little swipe at the bottom of the letter Q. And cube might be Q. And antikarana, which is Q. So maybe this is the sorcery magic that they have over everybody. This is why everyone's mind controlled by Q. Lot going on here, you guys. Let's keep delving into this. Amplifies healing energies, whether it's prayer or meditation, REIKI, or a simple massage session. Antikarana will dispel any residual energies that might emerge from such therapies. If placed close to you, the antikarana has the ability to start and enhance the Taoist microcosmic orbit. This is Qigong method of stimulating the energy centers, energy points, organs, and meridians within the body. It is very helpful meditation for restoring the energetic balance of your whole body. The energy that's created will flow afterward through your chakras, cleansing and activating them in the process. Two antikaranas, male and female, have the potential to effectively neutralize any type of residual or negative energy. If we place crystals, water, or jewelry between the two antikarana symbols, they will be purified within minutes. Now, there's some pictures of this crystal business. This is what's going on, you guys. Wow. So they're purifying. This is definitely not of the Most High. This is not of Jesus. So many Christians were deceived. Considering that our body has such high percentage of water, meditating on Antakarana will bring extremely good benefits. The symbol can help us connect to our higher selves and generate inner clarity. It greatly amplifies the power of intention, affirmations, and subconscious healing. Meditating on this symbol, find a quiet place to relax, visualize yourself. So it's like basically hypnosis almost. None of this has Jesus in it. Nowhere. Anywhere in this. This is New Age. You might experience deep cleansing and awareness. Your immunity will be stronger. So they're relying on this for immunity instead of Jesus. Do you see how all this links into these VCs? And your unconscious will slowly but surely begin to cleanse each day. The sleep cycles should become deeper and more relaxed. Your mind and body will be focused and calm your energy level. So here's the female symbol. You will notice the female is slightly thinner and shorter arms. This one has an emotional healing purposes and recommended with other symbols. And then this one, I guess, has thicker arms. Let's see if we can see the difference between the two. Yeah, that has thinner arms. This has thicker arms. So this would be the male symbol. This is probably what's being depicted on the seal, on the warp speed seal, because this one has thicker arms. So that would be the male symbol. Let's read about it. Thicker and shorter arms. It is responsible for amplifying the energy fields of the chakras. There you go. Especially for Muladhara. These three, can't even pronounce them. By doing so, Yang Antakarana can boost your energy level and vitality. There's also the ability to bring balance to the yin and yang energies that are within each one of us. Oddly enough, when placed under the bed, the symbol can help cure insomnia and generate necessary energies for a night of deep sleep. Both versions of the Antakarana also have intuitive uses, meaning that we may very well find new ways to apply these amazing symbols. Here's the square. They're placed to amplify healing energies and remove the negative ones. I'm getting dizzy just looking at that thing. Place under the furniture. You can place it in a cross. There would be replacing Jesus right there, using that cross instead of Jesus. The 7 spiritual planes. This is similar to the other versions, with the only difference being the intersection of the 3 arms. And sacred geometry. There's Kabbalah. Remember, everyone's like, hey, Trump's a Kabbalist. Well, here's your proof. Putting symbols right there in his Operation Warp Speed. Unreal. Here's the proof right here. It's a little bit too late. The only thing that you can do now is renounce your worship of the man. Understand you fell under some kind of a spell. And understand that no man can lead us, not Biden, not Trump. And repent for your part in allowing this to even happen with your vote, with your confidence and your belief in a man. Whereas if I can't imagine one Christian would have voted for him had they known this. Well, there are some New Age Christians out there, though, believe it or not, that would go for this. So, but once people know the truth and they know this isn't fake news, they know this isn't a stretch, I think when faced with the facts that we're showing you today, you finally have to come to terms with what you did. Here's another site, Masters of the Health Network. Let's read about this. Tibetan philosophy. Spiritual anatomy, they call it. Connection between the physical brain and the higher self. It is this connection that must heal and develop if we are to grow spiritually. The Antakarana symbol represents this connection and activates it whenever you are in its presence. The science of radionics indicates that lines drawn on paper create a psychic effect on the space surrounding the drawing. and will influence the human aura and chakras. There it is right there in black and white. Unreal. Let's keep reading this. This validates the age-old practice of yantra meditation, which makes use of visual images to purify and evolve the consciousness. Used in Tibet and China for thousands of years, it's a powerful symbol, and simply by having it in your presence, it will create a positive effect. We already read about that. See if there's any new information in this article. The Taoists say it creates what the Taoists call the great microcosmic orbit, wherein the psychic energies that would normally enter the crown chakra enter the feet and travel up the back of the body to the top of the head and then down the front of the feet again, thus grounding the person to earth and creating a continuous flow of energy through the chakras. So, this VC is going to open your chakras. This is it, you guys. It will also neutralize negative energies. We already read about that. Wow. The symbol is multidimensional. This is probably where the warp speed comes from, taking us to other dimensions. This is what he was talking about. The joke was on us the whole time. Multidimensional. Now, the question is, how is the VC doing this? Well, we tried to show you guys the symbolism of the VC and what it represented and what the possibilities were for what it could do. Now you have proof through this symbolism. It appears to be this, from one perspective, the symbol appears to be two-dimensional, being made up of, let's zoom that in, 3 sevens on a flat surface. The 3 sevens represent the 7 chakras, the 7 colors, and the 7 tones of the musical scale. Oh, so this has something to do with sound now. You know, like how we talk about somatics. These 3 sevens are mentioned in the book of Revelations as the 7 candlesticks. Well, I don't buy that. I think that they're trying to do a knockoff version, because if they weren't, they would understand that Jesus is at the center of all healing. They would be mentioning him, but they're not. The 7 trumpets and the 7 seals. So there's your trump linked into all this. Trumpets. From another perspective, these symbols appear as 3-dimensional cube. Its energy moves up from 2 to 3 dimensions that can be seen and also continues up through unseen dimensions, all the way up to the highest dimension. So warp speed isn't about going somewhere. It's about raising your consciousness to the one single consciousness. That's what warp speed's really about, based on the very symbolism contained within the seal. Let's make sure we're connected. You guys, this is crazy. I'll be back in the chat in a minute, but I need to get through this information because this is huge. So they talk about the ancient Tibetans and the masters, and they knew the symbols and all this. They used to place it in a room lit with candles. The middle of the room was a large earthenware vessel shaped in an oval, which symbolized the cosmic egg. We were just talking about this. Cosmic egg. Remember the serpent wrapped around the egg? That was called the Orphic egg, which is very closely linked into the cosmic egg. Wow. Here it is right here, you guys. Everything we've been talking about. Tried to warn people. Well, here's the proof. God always comes through. The world egg, the cosmic egg, is part of the symbol of the seal of warp speed. We've been tricked. Let's keep reading. I promise not to zoom in and out. Someone said they were getting motion sickness from me zooming in and zooming out because I was overdoing it with this new tool I learned. So I'm going to just try to minimize that so I don't make you guys motion sickness from watching the screen. But it is helpful to zoom in. Let's keep reading here. The vessel was filled with several inches of water, and in the middle was a stool. On the seat of the stool, inlaid in silver, was the Antikarana symbol. One wall was covered with copper. There you go. Everything we've been talking about. Copper. Remember? Polished to a mirror finish. Oh, this is crazy. Somebody sent me some information on copper polished into a mirror. And now it's all connecting in together. This, I believe, might be the portal. Tapestries were hung on opposite wall which displayed Reiki symbols. A Tibetan Lama mediator would sit on the stool and gaze steadily at the image of the Reiki symbol reflected in the polished copper mirror. Was this a time machine? This yantra meditation would create one-pointedness in the mind of the meditator, uniting the consciousness with the transcendental energies. You guys, I think we're looking at a time machine here. It's in copper color. This is everything that we've been researching. Trump the time travel. This is why he's Biff and Back to the Future. Bye, Franz. Janice. And his legacy will be taking all of us into warp speed, into this new age Reiki chakra journey. This is what they were talking about. Not a literal time machine, a spiritual one. I'm like shaking right now. This is just unbelievable. Tapestries were hung on opposite walls. Oh, I think we already read that part. And so this is about transcendental energies. They're trying to get all of humanity, doing this. This is what they're doing. Somehow there's some component in the VC is what they're telling us with their symbolism. Man, this is crazy. So they would focus their energies generated and cause them to evenly flow through all the chakras and to connect with the earth. It is clear that the Tibetans did not originate the symbol. There's no written record as to its true origin. However, through clairvoyant perception, Michelle Griffith, a talented clairvoyant healer, has been able to tune into the symbol and read its psychic history. According to Michelle, the symbol was first given to the people of Earth during... Okay. I can barely read this, you guys. They created the symbol using a decree imbued with its own consciousness. Now, anyone who uses it will have the same connection. Sounds pretty satanic to me. They created the symbol using a decree, imbued it with its own consciousness. So basically you become possessed when you play with this symbol. It's like a Ouija board. Anyone using it will have the connection between the physical brain and the higher self strengthened. This higher self is not God. Okay, this is the wrong higher self. The sacred symbol has been kept a secret for thousands of years, being known and used by only a few. Now it is time for all to have access to the ancient sacred symbol of healing. A remedy to fight illness. I know for a fact that this one of the symbols used by... Wow. Got some really evil people ruling this world. I'm just trying to see if there's any new information in here. Talk about purifying water, meditation. Use different sizes in order to focus or widen the energies, so they can use the symbol in different sizes, of course, which is what we covered a little bit earlier in the show. When feeling very sad, with my heart filled with unbearable pain, I place the symbols arranged as a cosmic cross on my heart chakra face down, so it realizes all of the pain. So this just goes on and on and on. I think that's the end of this article. I'll pin all these articles in the comments section, in the pinned comments. Here are different iterations of the symbol. Thin, it means female. The thicker means male, as you can see. There's Buddhist and Hindu and Reiki connections to all this. Here is the Antikarana Wikipedia article. It talks about Hindu philosophy, Sanskrit, meaning the inner cause, refers to the totality of two levels of mind, namely buddhi and the intellect, the higher mind, and the manas, the middle levels of the mind, which exist as or include the mental body, the link between the middle and higher mind, the reincarnating part of the mind. So it's divided up into four parts. The ego, which is self, the I, right? And the intellect, manas, which is mind, and chitta or citta, which is memory, dealing with remembering and forgetting. Another description says that the Antakarana refers to the entire psychological process, including mind and emotions, are composing the mind levels as described above, which are mentioned as a unit that functions with all parts working together as a whole. That's the collective consciousness. If you haven't already, thumbs up this video. Every single truth channel should be covering this right now. This is huge. I know warp speed's over, but this is what we've been handed. And my bad for missing this, you guys. I should have went and looked at the warp speed website and figured this out a long time ago. Like right when he said warp speed, I should have figured this out. Maybe we would have had a fighting chance to stop it. And now the entire world, well, all of America is now flooded with this sorcery through the VC. This is right off of the Department of Defense website right here. So what's in store for warp speed? Well, here's the VC distribution process. Coverage, deliver. Make this a little bit bigger. They got traceability. Confirm which of the approved VCs were administered regardless of location. Reminder to return for the second dose. Administer the correct second dose. You got uptake over here. How many VCs were administered per location per day to match supply with demand. And then you've got control and visibility. This looks like an Ouroboros snake eating its tail. Closing the loop. So now, been watching The Stand, and yesterday we just did a video on the smiley face. Well, the devil, the guy who plays the devil in The Stand, Stephen King's The Stand, wears a smiley face on his jacket. And I told you way back when we discovered the smiley face matrix that smiley face meant disease and virus. We told you that. And now it's confirmed in these screenshots from The Stand. Now, The Stand has only basically gotten to, it's only on the third episode so far. It's been released. So I'll continue to watch it. But this is the guy who plays the devil. And he wears this smiley face patch. Here's him in the back seat next to this baby just before this whole family basically perishes because of the virus. These are crazy times, you guys. All we have is truth. The truth shall set you free. And all we have is Jesus Christ, who is the center of all truth, center of all love, the center of all healing. He is the true doctor. His very first miracle in the Bible was when he was 12 years old and he was fascinating doctors in the temple. I always want to know, what was Jesus saying in the temple that fascinated these doctors? And I believe that maybe he knew so much about the human body that they were shocked. What did he know about the human body? Well, check out the Body Code documentary right here on this channel. It's about 4 hours long. And that might have been what Jesus was talking about. Our human body has imprinted on it like a map, the history of the world, the history of the Bible, all the events that happened. Why? Because God knew the beginning from the end. He's the Alpha and the Omega. So he imprinted in our bodies a code, the body code, for us to know that he is the Most High, that he is the one that created our bodies and sent his son to die for us, his real physical son to die for us, for our sins. And this is a very huge part of the gospel that's missing, the body code. Jesus told Simon when they were at the foot of Mount Hermon, he asked him, "Do you know who I am?" Simon said, "Yes, you are the Messiah." And he said, "Blessed are you, Simon Barona, for you have come about this through the Father in heaven rather than through flesh and blood." What would that possibly mean? Well, it means that there's some proof in the flesh of who Jesus is. It's written right into your flesh, in your human anatomy. There's also scriptures in the Bible that talk about the word being written into the fleshy tables of the heart. The fleshy tables of the heart, or tablets they call them, which would be like cross sections, which we found all kinds of stuff in cross sections of the flesh that point right back to Jesus. And today we take a stand against the Christian channels that do not want to step out and understand the increase in knowledge in the last days, and trying to accuse this channel of taking people away from the gospel. And in fact, more people are going and running toward the gospel because of this channel. Many more that are running toward the gospel with the same old repeating of the old biblical stories and the hiding of the true information and deeper meanings of the Bible that point people right back to the Most High and His Son. And that needs to be said. And thanks to you guys who have been touched and pointed in the right direction back towards Christ because of the information that you've seen on this channel, because you guys are amazing. So, how do we get this information out? Well, this video should have 1 million views by the end of today, if we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing to get the information out. Everybody needs to see this. I don't care if you're on the right or the left. We've been tricked. I love each and every one of you. I'm going to end the show there, and we'll be back on here tomorrow. Take care and be safe. And be saved. Absolutely.